Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and for today's video we're going to be doing this holiday look right here. Now I wanted to create a makeup holiday look that was easy to create, but at the same time that it was bold and just, you know, a really big statement look. So mostly a lot of people on the holiday season, they want to go all out. They want to do a very bold look. They want to do a red lip look. So that is what I'm bringing to you today. It's really easy and really beautiful. So if you guys want to see how I did this, then just keep on watching. I have completely nothing on my face, and that leads us to step number one. Now, step number one is to do your go-to skincare routine. You want to do your regular go-to skincare routine before you do your makeup. Now you want it to be very nice, very clean. You just want to have a very nice canvas before you start adding all that makeup on there. So make sure you have a clean base, and also don't try anything new around this time. It's the holiday season. You're going to be seeing a lot of people. The last thing you want is to break out and have a reaction. So just go with your go-to skincare routine. And if you don't have one, that's okay. Just clean your face with some soap and water, do something, but make sure that your skin is nice and clean. That way when you start adding all of that makeup on, it just looks nice overall. You know, just a little tip, make sure you have a nice base beforehand. Once you have your skin prepped, just gonna move on to the face. So before anything, I always do my brows first. So get your brows on. All right guys, so once you have your brows on, all that jazz, we're going to do step number 3, and that is your face. Now, for your face / base makeup, it is important to go with what you're used to. Now, I know people are like, well, what if I want to try something new? It's not the day to try something new. It's the day to go with something that you're confident in using. You know that it's going to work. And if you put on this product, it's going to look good throughout the whole night. That's what you want. You don't want to try a new product and then throughout the night, you notice it cracks. You know, like what if you put a new foundation on and then it starts cracking here and you're like, why is it doing that? Usually my face doesn't crack in that area. Maybe it's because you try a new foundation that doesn't work for you. So that being said, just go with products that you're confident in using, and then you'll be good to go. So for me, that is the Urban Decay De-Slick. So I already put on a moisturizer when I did my skincare routine. So I use this in just the areas that need to be matte. So I get really, really oily in this whole T-zone area. So I use this to just make sure that my face will be mattified throughout the whole night in that area, and I won't really have to touch up. So I'm going to be using that. My whole trusty foundation combo that I'm doing right now is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir, and then I add some Becca. I use these two combos. It works for me. I use the Becca to have the full coverage, and then this one, I use this just because it kind of gives me a glow while still having the full coverage. So this is a combo that I'm used to. I love this. I know that this will work for me. So you guys can try it out. But like I said, if you have a foundation and primer routine already that works really well, do that. It's not a time to try something new, guys. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on, and then we'll go to the next step. To apply my foundation, I'm going to be using the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. I also use the Beauty Blender and the Morphe one. This is just the one that's really nice and clean. My other ones are dirty. I need to wash them. So I'm going to be using this. Just wring it out under the sink. Make sure it's really damp. Make sure it's really wet. And then just wring out all the excess water. So it should be damp, but it shouldn't be dripping. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is just a concealer that I know will work for me. I'm going to go very light-handed on the concealer. I don't want to go too much. I don't want it to be cakey. So I just go very light-handed. And I'm putting it in these areas because this is where I want some light to show out. I want to highlight those areas, so that's why I'm putting concealer there. All right, so after you've done all that and after everything is nice and blended, we're gonna go into step number 4. And I think that's step number 4. Are we in step number 4? I don't even know at this point. And that would be powder. Now, if you wanna do cream contouring, cream bronzing, do that now, because just do that now, because then we're gonna set everything. If you don't, and if you're gonna do powder contour, powder bronzing like I am, then do this step. So I'm gonna be using the Pretty Vulgar, the Powder Room Matte About It translucent setting powder, and this is just a translucent powder. I tried this out a couple days ago because I received it in my BoxyCharm, and I really like it. So I already tested this out. This works for me. Right, so what I'm gonna do is just dip my damp beauty blender in and just set my whole face with it. I'm gonna leave that powder under my eyes because we are gonna bake. So I'm gonna put some extra powder down there. It looks a little crazy now, but trust me, once it's all done, it's gonna look really nice. So just leave that there. I know it looks crazy. And then with the rest of your face, you're just going to set it. And I do this because this is where I usually get oily first. So that's just some like extra coverage of powder just to make sure that I don't get oily. So a little tip that I like to do is I always like to add some extra powder around my nose, just because this is the area where the makeup starts to crack first, because if you touch your nose, you get itchy, you hug people, stuff like that. This is where I like to just add some more powder just to kind of get that extra proof of coverage around there. So now for step number 5, we're gonna do eyes. Now I'm gonna leave this powder here just because I don't want any excess eyeshadow to fall onto my face. This is just gonna help wipe it away and leave it looking nice and not messed up. So put a little bit of extra powder. Halfway when we're doing the eye look, I am gonna wipe it off and re-add some, just because I don't want a white cast. I don't want some flashbacks. So I'm just letting you guys know that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so for eyes, I am gonna be using the Morphe James Charles palette. I've been obsessed with this. So for this eye look, I'm going to grab the first shade right here. And I'm going to just put that all over my eye to set it, just because I did add some concealer on my whole lid. Just because I got some little veins there. I'm going to set it with this eyeshadow, and that's just gonna help everything blend nicely. Next, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And I'm just going to focus that in my crease area. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab a little mirror just to see what I'm doing. And just focus that on the crease area. I'm gonna grab a clean fluffy brush and I'm gonna blend the harsh edges now. With that same fluffy brush that I used, I'm gonna grab into this more warm brown dark shade. And I'm gonna focus that on the outer part of my crease. With that clean brush that we used beforehand, I'm actually gonna grab some of that orange shade that I used first. And I'm going to blend that with the other dark shade. At this point right now, I'm gonna take this excess powder and I'm gonna re-add a little bit more, just because if I were to leave that just sitting there, what would happen is I would get a white cast, and I don't want that. So I'm just taking some off and reapplying. Next, I'm gonna go in with this black, and I'm just gonna go a tiny bit with the black, guys. Go very small because it'll get intense really fast. So I'm literally just gonna do this. I'm going to just dab, and you see how I got some black, And I'm just going to focus that a little bit on the outer area of my eye. And this is just going to help deepen up the look. So you see how a little goes a long way? That's why. Don't add too much. With that brush that we used, that orange shade, I'm just going to blend those colors together. Make sure it's nicely blended. And you should have something like this. So I'm going to grab my favorite concealer and my favorite cut crease brush. And this is just the Esam T41 brush. I got this when I went to the makeup show. And what I'm going to be doing is doing a half cut crease. It looks a little bit crazy, but it's actually really, really simple. So all I'm going to be doing is creating like a half moon. And that's just going to make it look very crisp and it's just really cool looking. So what I'm going to be doing is stamping that. So I'm going to start here in the inner corner. So you can see I already started where I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to slightly stamp. So once you have that, looks a little intense, right? So next what you're gonna do is grab that brown shade right here, add it on there. And you're going to stamp it onto the outer edge of your eyelid, just to make everything look nice and blended. You see that? So that's what you want. That's what you want. And I like to just slightly pat. Don't swipe because you can leave like a really harsh line when you swipe. So just slightly pat, and then you should have a nice blended effect. So next, what we're gonna do is go in with this goldish shade, and I'm gonna apply that where the concealer is. That's just gonna make it look real intense and real nice. So just add that shade onto the lid. All right, guys, so you can leave it like this, or you can add some setting spray or Fix Plus to your brush and then go back in and make it look more metallic, but I'm okay with that. So you're gonna grab that brush again and just really tap that in there just to make sure that that little metallic shade blends in with the rest of the shades. So just tap it in like that. And you should have something like this. All right, guys, so to make this look a little bit more intense and just overall, you know, cool, I'm gonna add some black liner. I'm gonna be using the Tarte's Clay Paint Liner. You can use any kind of liner you want. I'm just gonna use this one. All right, guys, so then you should have something like this. I'm gonna use some eyeliner, and I'm gonna use the MAC Cosmetics Chromographic Pencil Liner in Black. So I'm just gonna add that. So that looks intense, right? So next what I'm gonna be doing is grabbing these two shades right here, and I'm going to smoke that bottom lash line. You should have something like this. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye, put some mascara on, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I went ahead and put on some mascara, and I also put some chapstick on because my lips are looking a little crusty. I love this look, and the reason I feel like I look normal is because I have a really, really good mascara. Mascara is very important, especially if you want like a bold look and you don't want to wear lashes. Get a really good mascara. The one that I'm currently obsessed with is by It Cosmetics, and it's the Superhero Mascara. This one leaves my lashes looking so full, very long, and it really coats them nicely. It doesn't clump them up, and they just look very black, which I love because it kind of looks like, is she wearing lashes? Is she not? But no, it's just mascara. I started this off with steps. I don't even know what step I'm in, but we're gonna continue with the rest of our face. So we're gonna go in with bronzer. You can contour. I don't really like contouring. I just like bronzing. So I'm gonna grab I really love the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. but I just wanted to try something else. So I'm gonna go in with the Butter Bronzer by, what is this by? I just broke my bronzer. I'm so sad. Oh, I'm gonna go in with a different bronzer because this one just fell and it just broke. So I'm just gonna go in with my Hoola bronzer. I'm also gonna do the same thing that I showed you guys in my other video. I'm just gonna warm up my sides of my nose to really bring the warmth back into my face, and I just have it warm and then pale. So I do this step just so it looks nice and cohesive. I'm gonna go in with blush. So the types of blush that I'm gonna be using is by Carity Cosmetics. I love this brand. They're very affordable. The packaging is really cute and it's just really nice. So I'm gonna go in with this one. This one's a little bit too pink for the look that I'm going with, but I just wanted to show you guys a different variety. I love these little blush palettes. They're really nice. I'm gonna go in with this one. It's called Yas. So I'm gonna use that one. A little goes a long way. You don't wanna go too crazy with it. So you see, I just tapped into it and it already got some pigment. So don't go too much with it. Just use a little bit. Next, we're going to be doing some highlight. For highlight, I'm going to be using the James Charles palette. I'm going to be using this shade right here. And I'm just going to grab a highlighting brush and just highlight. I love this highlight. It gives it, you can go really intense with it, but I just like a nice glow. Yeah, so you should have something like this. And then lastly, you are going to apply the lips. Now, for lips, I love a very bold lip on the holidays. I am that like red lip girl. I love a red lip. And I've been obsessed with the Morphe liquid lipsticks. And this is in the shade Hot Shot. I feel like Jaclyn Hill mentioned it. If you guys don't know who Jaclyn Hill is, she is a beauty guru. And she mentioned it and I feel like it was sold out for like a good 2 weeks in my Ulta, and they just restocked, and I never went to purchase it, and I finally purchased it. So I'm gonna be applying this red. Guys, so that red alone was too bright for me, so I mixed it in with the Gerard Cosmetics Hydra Matte liquid lipstick in Boss Lady. So these are the two that I used to create this combo, and it just went perfectly with my dress that I have on. So all right guys, so that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below what looks you're going for this holiday season. Don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell. That way you guys are notified every single time I post new videos. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.